Hey everyone, welcome back to our fourth of five awesome little afternoon broadcasts, all about getting in shape for the holidays. I am Isaac, this is Sharon. We are Academy of Handmade, and we are here to help you shape up for the holidays. We are excited to have you back here joining us. If you are popping in via Crowdcast, please say hello via the chat on the right-hand side of the screen. Give us a shout out, tell us your name, where you're from, and what you make. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Give us a shout out there in the comments. And I will be watching that. If you ever see me turning this way, it's because I'm looking at Facebook Live. Trying to keep on track of two things at once. So anyway, we've been doing this series this week of short little webinars about things that we think will help you shape up for the holidays. And we've been highlighting resources that we offer and that some people within our network and our friends and colleagues offer that can help you out with that. So on Monday, when we started everything off, we talked about knowing your numbers. And the importance of getting cozy with spreadsheets and with your sales data and things like that to help inform your holiday planning. On Tuesday, we talked about boosting your booth and some tips, 3 tips in particular that we think are critical to helping your craft show booth stand out at your shows and fairs this holiday season. And then yesterday, we talked about, I just looked at it and I'm drawing a blank. The holiday hamster wheel. That's right. And how we can identify when we're like running on the wheel and need to hop off or need to plan ahead so that we don't get on the wheel in the first place and start beating our head against a wall when it comes to preparing for the holidays. So today we are talking all about planning for promo. And Sharon's going to kick things off with that. But first, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's joining us. Hello, Erwin and Jessica and Amanda. And I'm sure there's some other people on Facebook Live as well who haven't chimed in yet. Thank you for joining us again and being back here for more awesome little tips.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we do have a poll too that we would love for you to fill out. That you were probably just about to say that, huh?
Does it sound echoey for anyone else? It doesn't sound echoey for us. You might have us on twice.
Yeah, you might check for a double tab.
Like if you have our Facebook open and the page where this is located on our website, that could be it. Or the Crowdcast and whatever.
It happens sometimes. My room is a little echoey. That could be part of the issue. But so you could also try refreshing your browser, Erwin. Sometimes that'll clear up some technical issues. So anyway, we have a poll that we would love for you to take. We've really enjoyed doing these little things, and we'd love to get a little feedback from you on what you think of them too. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sharon, who's going to talk a little bit about promotion.
Yeah. So I feel like, a lot of times what happens with promotion is, I think we discussed this earlier, is we are like, oh my gosh, it's about to be Black Friday. I should probably run something. And I also think there's a lot of stuff out there that tells you like, oh, if you're not in a gift guide by June, July, or, whatever, you should just forget about it. And while it's true, getting into certain publications and certain blog posts, those deadlines do require a little bit of forethought. You are still not without the ability to both run promotions and I think that was it. She figured it out. There's 2 tabs open. Sorry. We knew we'd be able to fix that technical difficulty. This is not our first webinar rodeo, because we have done this to ourselves with these echoes. If you are making a mistake, we have probably made that mistake. Anyways, so there is still time for you to do holiday promos if you do them right, and if you start thinking about them the sooner the better, and not like, oh crap, Thanksgiving is about to be this week. So the first thing that, oops, I was going to try to pull this up and I don't know where it went. Staffing points. There you go. To plan about right now is to start thinking about the products that you want to promote. So this is number one. If you're writing all of this down or taking notes on this, the thing that you're going to do next is you're going to be figuring out how to, sorry, this just jumped on my screen. Figuring out which products you want to promote. And how do you figure out which products you want to promote? You need to look at what sells well. So that means you should be looking back on, again, we're pushing knowing your numbers, what has sold well in the past for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that is going to be the exact same item. It could be an iteration on that item or something similar enough where, you know, like, okay, I know this is going to sell well. Does it have something where you're going to be talking about it? So like, the newness of the products, things like that. Thinking about what kind of margins it's going to give you. So you always really want to be promoting the products too that both sell in volume wise and also sell in terms of giving you the most money in terms of margins. So there's a happy medium in there of things that sell really well and have nice margins. And so those are the ones that you want to look at. If you don't necessarily have enough to go on to know what's going to sell well, like if this is your first year, maybe even second year, you can thinking about things with the higher margins really helps too. And that's not to say that you're not offering the other stuff. It's maybe just not the stuff that you're promoting and getting to. And if you're doing promotions, right, they usually come with sales. So having stuff that has higher margins or that you know you're going to be selling a lot of in volume is key to making sure that a sale doesn't wreck you. So that is huge. And so now that you're thinking about your products, re-examine just to make sure, like now is the time to do it. Like you can still raise prices if you need to. Now is the time to really look and say, what kind of discounts can I afford to give people during the holidays? Because I don't necessarily want you to be giving discounts the rest of the year. You know, those are sort of optimal and up to you. But at the holidays, those sort of smaller discounts do become important, and even, you know, bigger ones if you're able to too. No one's expecting you to compete with, you know, whatever's happening at the mall, and you shouldn't do that. But this is a way to get noticed more and to get people interested in opening your emails more. So that is something to think about. I know with makers, we like to talk about like not discounting your items too much, and that's totally true. The holidays is the exception when you really need to think about discounts, and those become really important. So the next thing is think about the stories that go with those products. So this kind of, again, is like thinking about what you're going to promote, but it's like, why are you going to promote these products? Obviously, you're not going to say I'm promoting this product because I get more money from it than other products. That's weird. But you are going to want to start thinking about like, is this product new? Is this product based on a bestseller, but it has a holiday twist? Is this something that is giftable? Is it something for, you know, a certain kind of person that you know people buy for? Moms, dads, kids, you know, significant others. So really start thinking about the story behind it. Make as much, start taking notes, start figuring out sort of for each product that you're going to be promoting or groups of products that you're going to be promoting, start writing down ideas and things about that are going to be the stuff that is going to go into your copy for, you know, emails, for social media, all of that stuff. So the story, it all starts with the story. And the story does not have to be obviously fitting into your life, but the story can just be something that is whimsical or interesting or something else that helps to sell the product. It doesn't actually have to be some kind of story that, you know, is just the facts, man. You know, if you have a line of products that, you know, and fans that, you know, like the sort of more whimsical stuff, this doesn't have to be the story of a product, doesn't have to be centered around, you know, that this is a gift for somebody else. So If any of this stuff does not make sense, feel free to ask questions in the chat area. Isaac, do you have anything to add to these things?
Well, I had an experience with storytelling when I had my handmade business. I used to actually write, I would literally write a story for each piece that I made. And it was fun and it was a creative outlet and everything. But then I realized that once it's sold, that story is done. And I realized that the story...
Well, you were making one-of-a-kind items, right?
Yeah, I was making one-of-a-kind items. It just, I got to a point where I realized that writing those stories was holding me back from actually listing new products. And then I realized that the story, these little like cute little stories that I was writing that go along with each bracelet were not what was selling the bracelets. Like people, like it was kind of a nice bonus thing, but it wasn't really helping my SEO or marketing my products generally. And so I had to like scale back and say, okay, I don't need to do that. But I do need to focus on telling the story of what I'm making as a whole in a way that that answers the questions that most of my customers are having when they come to me at a booth, that is articulating why it's important, why certain types of people really love it, like photographers or kind of nerdy vintage people or whatever. So that really helped me when I left the actual stories behind that weren't really helping me sell, and focusing on the broader story of my business and my products.
Totally. And that's a really good observation. And I think creating weird rules for ourselves about how we have to go about our business can really hold us back sometimes. And sometimes we have to really question, what is the real reason we have this rule or are doing this thing, and why is it keeping us from doing other stuff, and is that worth it? So Erwin said, I offered a special discount to my best stockist this month and got my largest order ever. That's awesome, Erwin. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what that looked like? And from there, we will go on to point number 3. So point number 1 is start thinking about your products now. Figure out the ones that you're actually going to sell, adjust prices if necessary, and really figure that out now. Products or groups of products. Because obviously, there's definitely the store has been blown out sale, like, right, everything is 25% off. And sometimes that can be an okay strategy. But I really think focusing on specific products or groups of products or types of products, however you want to do it, and making those sales and having those sales spaced out, I think is a much better way to go about it, because you're teasing people. You are leading people in with a sale on 1 or 2 things, and then you're getting them into your shop and hopefully they buy more. So think about this in terms of specific products that you're going to run. If you want to run a store-wide sale, consider just doing that once, maybe twice. So like maybe once at the beginning of the season, of the holiday season, and then the second at the end when you're trying to get rid of stuff. Maybe you don't have that, so maybe that's your backup one. Maybe, hopefully, you don't have to get rid of anything. Hopefully the stock has just been cleared out and you have prepared exactly as needed. So those are, so number 1 is pick a product. Number 2 is have your stories ready for them and figure out what those are going to be for everything. And those are going to be the things that are going to start guiding you. So Erwin said, I wrote them an email saying, you're awesome. How about if all orders you send me during October gets 15% off? 2 days later, you got the order. Oh my gosh, that's great. That's yes. And that is such a good way to think about the fact that, like, yes, a lot of stockists have ordered most of their stuff for Christmas. This is true. But that doesn't mean that now that they're looking at everything that they don't see, like, maybe there's a gap here. Maybe I might have already sold through too much of something. So especially thinking about this now, since if you don't have stock on hand, like if you make soap or other things and you kind of got to gear up for some of those orders, think about maybe trying to do a last minute push this month too about that. That's really smart, Erwin. Okay, so the last one is thinking about when you're going to do these sales and what they will look like. So as I mentioned, the, you know, doing things that are more product specific makes a lot of sense, but also when you're going to do them. Thinking about when are people going to be paying the most attention, looking back on stats from last year. This is huge. Really figuring out when did you see the most sales, thinking about and getting out of the mindset of, okay, it's Black Friday, I need to run a sale. Well, Black Friday might not be really good for you. It tends to not be for handmade, but sometimes it's Small Business Saturday. Sometimes it's these other dates that help you. And then think about the times of when sales go up and how do you maybe possibly attract more people. Etsy has now made it so that you can offer gift wrap as part of it and as like an extra add-on to your product. That's huge. Starting to explore that. I mean, that in itself is kind of like a sale. If you can do free gift wrap or do penny gift wrap or whatever you want to add on to make that, you know, gift wrap is you know, at a discount right now. So think about ways to do stuff like that and what exactly it's going to look like, because not everything has to be 15% off, right? Or something percent off or so many dollars off. You can do buy one, get one, buy two, get one. You can do free gift with purchase, which I think is a really big thing. Like if you have a higher priced product and you can give a smaller version of that product to someone, that is such a nice bonus too. Obviously there's free shipping and Etsy is pushing the free shipping too. Obviously I think there's mixed feelings about this because shipping has only just gotten more expensive, especially if it's international, even just to Canada. It's a ton of money. You know, if you have like candles or something. So obviously really think about shipping in your business and when you can afford to do free shipping. But if free shipping is the thing that helps to get people in because they're expecting it right now during a certain period of time, that's maybe the sale that you run. So, and you don't have to do free shipping plus free gift wrap plus 10% off or 20% off. Like you don't have to do all of those things at the same time. That's why you start calendaring it all now so you can pick when everything is happening, when all the specials are going to be, and what exactly they're going to look like. So, and you don't have to run them the entire season too. Like if you just want to do a day of, you know, bonanza stuff and run those even kind of regularly, do that.
Two comments from the chat. So Keisha says that she sees a lot of friends and family sales going on right now. Which is interesting. I've been seeing some larger retailers do that for sure. And I think that kind of dovetails with what Holly said. Holly says she's planning a sale the weekend before Black Friday because sales are notoriously terrible that weekend for her. And she's going to be doing a show during Black Friday weekend and doesn't want to offer a discount for in-person sales. So that's really smart to leverage a sale period to boost sales on a normally slow weekend. I think that's a reason why a lot of retailers and even other makers are doing friends and family sales right now, because it's kind of that calm before the storm retail season where, you know, you may be getting a lot of wholesale orders or fulfilling those, but you're not seeing a lot of direct to customer sales because they're kind of saving things up for the holidays.
Yeah. And just remember that Black Friday, right, is the day when, so people are obviously at the malls that day and at big box retailers. And they're focused on sort of those like giant mega deals, right? And as a handmade business, you cannot compete, even if more and more of them are on their phones shopping that day, things like that. The hunt is for the super big discounts, and that's fine. Like I totally get that. So you should not feel like you have to compete with that or feel bad that the noise of that day has crowded you out. It is a super, super noisy day. You're going to get a poop ton of emails coming up right before that day. On that day, the Best Buy is going to email you like 5 times that day. And you're like, I'm not even subscribed to Best Buy's email list. How did I get on this? Like it's going to be crazy. So you're gonna want to make sure that just like it's okay to not contribute to that noise today. And sometimes you can anti-sell because obviously everybody is on this. We hate big box stores that are ruining Thanksgiving. And like, degenerating on Black Friday. So you can tell your audience, like, I am not participating in any of these sales, Thursday or Friday of Thanksgiving because, I'd like, and this is true though, but it's a good sales signal because I'd like to spend time with my friends and family and not crowd your inbox on those days because you're not even probably going to see that email, So you can think about how you can angle all of this madness on the other side to be friendly to you, even if you're not participating in it. So
yeah, for sure.
If you guys have any questions, you can ask it in the Ask a Questions area, and also take the poll. But I'm going to put a resource in the chat, which is a super, super old blog post from 2014. The company that wrote the blog post is not even in existence anymore, so some of the links don't even work, but what content is there actually is helpful. So look at that, and that is one way that'll help you think about and plan for the holiday season. The other thing that is going to help you plan for the holiday season is the holiday promo, last minute holiday promo webinar that I'm doing at the end of the month, which I did last year, and it was so much fun. And I feel like there was so much good information that came out of that. I'm excited to do it again. If you did it last year, it is going to be different this year. A lot of the similar content, but I'm going to be updating. I give you a calendar of when to think about all the different sale dates in there, and those will be updated for this year. So that's definitely going to be worth it, and is going to be changed for this year. But yes, we're going to focus on all the ways that you can start planning your promotions, which is both like thinking about getting press and thinking about doing marketing that way, but also thinking about how you're going to promote yourself to your existing audience too. So
what's the date on that?
The date on that is the 26th.
That was a test.
October 26th. At a time that is in the late morning, early afternoon.
If you click on the holiday resources button in the green button that you see in Crowdcast, you'll see all the info there for it.
Yes. So yeah, you can sign up for that webinar. I will answer all of your questions in there. I will try to hot seat a couple people as well too. It is last minute holiday promo webinar. And if you're watching this on the holiday shape up page, you just scroll down and it's in there. It's one of the buttons that'll take you there. If you're looking at this in Crowdcast, if you just go to our Crowdcast main page, it's listed as one of the upcoming webinars. If you're on Facebook, you need to figure this out. You need to come over here. Because it keeps happening. There's no way for us to really do this, update this stuff on Facebook. So many platforms, but do not all do the same thing.
There are only so many displays you can have on the computer.
And if you're on YouTube, if you're like the one person on YouTube watching this right now, I'm sorry too. Because that's what we found. There's consistently 2 people on YouTube watching this live.
All you have to do is go to academyofhandmade.com, and then at the very bottom of the page, you'll see a search box, and you can search for last minute promo, and it'll pop up.
Will it? Sometimes that search at the bottom is real bad. So
then maybe you shouldn't do that.
Terrible. Okay. There are no questions, guys. You don't have any questions about holiday promos? Come on. All right. Several of you have said yes, that you would like us to do more of these videos.
I like it.
Well, that's good, because that's a plan that we've already had.
That means that anybody who doesn't want us to do this, we're just being nice and didn't answer the poll.
Maybe. No, so Isaac and I are planning to make these events weekly, hopefully. We'll talk more about this tomorrow on our next broadcast. Oh, yay, Danny. Thank you.
We make ourselves laugh too. I hope that's good.
We're here to be shameless and fools for all of you. We're fine. We're fine with that. So yes, tomorrow we're going to be doing this again. So make sure to tune in. Am I leaving anything else out? I feel like there should be questions today, guys, about doing holiday promos.
You're just too smart, Sharon. You've answered them all.
I know. Well, or they're all going to sign up for the holiday promo webinar. Keisha says, I'm so leery of doing a sale, but my pom-pom garlands sell lots during the holidays. Yeah. You know, and I get it. You guys you're such smart business people, and you're so well trained to know that sales are not good for your business on a regular basis. Like, good job. But at the holidays, promoting of some sort of bonusy sales stuff is good. And maybe you do buy two, get one free, Keisha, or something like that.
Well, and I would ask Keisha, I would say, if they are selling well during the holidays already, do you have capacity to sell more, to make and sell more? And if you do, you might be able to use a sale or a promotion of some sort to boost that. And then you'd have an even better holiday than you're used to.
This is true. Jessica says, I guess I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm brand new, so this is my first holiday and have no idea what to offer. I would click on the resource that I just linked in the chat, which was the blog post that's old but still relevant on thinking about that. That's going to, at the very least, get your brain going on this. The holiday promo webinar is also for you. We talk about all of this too. So,
and I would say if you're brand new, it's okay to be a little overwhelmed. There's lots and lots and lots of information out there. We deal with that fire hose all the time. But I think it's really important to at least be aware of some of these things. So that as you move forward, you can start to track like how you're doing things during your first holiday season, and things you want to think of for the next one once you do have some more experience under your belt.
Totally. Yeah. Give yourself room to experiment this year and make it. And don't worry if it's not exactly what you pictured. Everything's going to be learning and testing for next time. So Keisha answered your question, Isaac.
It takes forever to make. So it sounds like you may not have very much capacity, which makes me want to know more about your pricing, but that's a deeper conversation.
Well, I wonder too. I mean, I think if you raise the price now, this is the time, and then have it go back to the old price later on. That can be helpful too as a sale. Not that I'm saying, like, obviously that new price stays after you're not just tricking people for the holidays weirdly. But yeah, so like you can consider raising your prices, and you could also think about, is there something else smaller that maybe could go with it that is easier to make, maybe? Like that's your bonus item that goes with it. So there could be something else there that maybe isn't a straight discount money wise, if that's gonna impede you too much. Lessen the link so I don't have to make as many pom-poms and then drop the price of it. Yeah, I mean, right? That's such a great way to save money.
Or keep the price the same way.
Yeah, we'll keep the price the same, but drop it as like a sale, if that's what she was saying.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Alexandra said, what do you tell people that don't normally follow you and last minute they contact you to see if you had any past sales? Do you offer the past sale or say something else? Only once have I said no, and it came back to bite me. She was a bit upset. Well, this person sounds rude.
Yeah.
I think that, if someone just started following you, like it's rude to the other people who were on the board with you this whole time, and then to give her the sale. I guess it kind of depends on like the situation at some level, but I think whatever the person is doing, like I mean, sometimes people offer like a small discount when people sign up for their newsletter. So if that can sometimes be a motivation. Like I know people that say like, for people that get discount hungry and they say, oh, you want a discount? They're like, oh, I would like a discount. Have you, whatever. They're trying to just ask for free money, basically. People will be like, oh, you should just sign up for my newsletter. You would get 15% off your first order or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, those people never sign up for anything. So, I mean, you could figure out a way to like motivate it so that like you're getting something in return and seeing how serious they are, other than just them weirdly having the audacity to just ask for discounts like that. Isaac, do you have advice on this?
God, I do. I mean, so a couple points that I wanted to make. One, look at what big retail does. These are called price adjustments. That's when you can go back and say, oh, there was a promo on this, or there was a coupon. Can you adjust the price to match it? Those price adjustment periods are usually only a week long. Sometimes they're 2 weeks for like the really big boxes that that can afford to, that have margins that can support that. I think that it's so critical. It will help you and it will help the rest of the community if you can just, set a policy. And this is something that we talk about in the holiday game plan lessons, is set your policies in advance so you know exactly how to respond to somebody when this happens. So, you can just say, look, this is handmade work. It is, we don't go on sale very often. When we do, they're very limited things. I'm not able to extend that. Here are some ways that you can keep in touch about future sales or things like that. I think it's really easy to get caught up in trying to make the sale any way you can, but you don't want to damage your integrity or the integrity of your work just to make a customer happy. The customer is not always right, especially when it comes to handmade work. So
yeah.
I would say stay strong. That person probably is either just digging for a discount because they don't value your because they don't value your work, or they're just penny pinchers. And if you can get them to make the sale at full price, great. If you're willing to give them a courtesy 5% discount, oh my God, I'm choking. Apparently I'm very passionate about this.
Yeah, I mean, the policies thing is a really good point. We're going to talk about that tomorrow too. One of our private community members brought up the National Federation of Retailers holiday guide, which in there kind of gives you stuff, and we'll talk a little bit about that with tomorrow too. But if you do have that, if you planned ahead and have that stuff set up to say, this is how I handle that thing, so you become less stressed and you feel like you're being fair instead of feeling like you're being weirdly just kind of like giving an answer on the spot, trying to make the sale or trying to not upset that person. And I think as much as people are trying to make the sale, I think there's also a lot of weird, I need to please this person, I want them to not be upset, guilt too that goes into it. And so you kind of, because you don't have something already as your policy drawn up, you've kind of gone from the gut with an answer instead of having something that says, nope, this is how I handle this situation. So Sammy Joe said, I had someone use 3 different email addresses to get my first time customer email sign up on 3 orders. I finally caught up to her on the 3rd and called her out. Dang. Yeah. No. So you do kind of have to be careful with that. It kind of depends on what you're doing, and maybe you don't always run that promotion. But yeah. Yeah. Holly says she doesn't offer a discount. Yep. And that totally makes sense too. But that's just one way you can handle that situation.
Yeah, having your policies set is so helpful, and remembering to, like you said, Keisha, remembering to go back and review your own policies to make sure you're not letting people slip one by you. It's sad to say that it happens, but it does happen. People can be turds about things, and We got to stand our ground.
Yeah, totally. So, all right, guys, it looks like you want us to do more of these. So stay tuned for that. We'll let you guys know in the newsletter when we'll be doing more of them. Also, come back tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern.
5 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Mountain Time.
4 p.m. Central.
What I meant to say. 4 p.m. Central.
I'm in London. Well, I have no clue.
Sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 9. Okay. All right, guys. It was great talking with you, and we'll see you all tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about
expecting the unexpected.
Expecting the unexpected. So, all right. See you guys later. Wait, I'm trying to end this, and my computer's freezing.
Awkward sign-offs for the win.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.